Hi there. Have you ever wondered why some video games feel good in the moment, but when you think about the experience, there is nothing memorable about it? Sometimes even quite the opposite. There is a sense of emptiness, or even a shame, as you spend time on something and it is not even worth remembering. Some video game loops feel good and are rewarding, but only if there is something to be earned through loot boxes or a specific boss drop that you have been chasing for quite a while. So if you come back home after a hard day, just wanting to unwind and relax, but you get into dilemma. Do you toss a coin and let a random number generator decide your mood and if you will have a hard time cooling off for the next day, or blissfully go to sleep? Believe it or not, this dilemma is nothing new and goes back quite far back into our history. So let us talk about two opposing philosophies of Aristotle and Epicurus. Epicurus thought that the goal of life is pleasure, but he defined pleasure differently than many people assume. For him, the highest pleasure was a state of peace, simplicity, and freedom from pain or anxiety. He encouraged people to avoid unnecessary desires, pursue modest living, and cultivate friendships. Epicurus believed that by reducing fear, especially fear of death or the gods, people could reach a calm and content state of mind. His philosophy, therefore, focuses on tranquility and balanced enjoyment of life. To be quite fair, Epicurus at least tried to moderate people to have goals set to be content and not overly zealous. It feels like modern gaming culture, like culture in many other aspects of life, does not stop at any moderation, but rather pushes the user to go over and beyond their limits. Aristotle, on the other hand, believed the ultimate goal of human life was Eudamonia, often translated as flourishing or deep fulfillment. He argued that happiness is not simply feeling good, but living virtuously and developing one's abilities over time. According to his philosophy, people achieve this through practicing virtues such as courage, wisdom, and moderation. For Aristotle, true satisfaction comes from meaningful activity and mastery, not from momentary pleasures. In modern terms, his view aligns closely with the idea that long-term achievement and growth create deeper happiness than quick rewards. If we observe these two philosophical outlooks, it is clear that it is more beneficial long-term to focus on what Aristotle preached. Being content with trying and failing to get better at something in life, well, anything in life, is not a normal value system for most people. It is something we have to set our own goals and train our mind to pursue these values. The difference between Aristotle and Epicurus lies in how they define happiness. Aristotle believed happiness is achieved through purpose, virtue, and active pursuit of excellence, while Epicurus believed it comes from minimizing suffering and enjoying simple pleasures. In essence, Aristotle emphasized fulfillment through achievement, while Epicurus emphasized peace through moderation and comfort. This contrast makes their ideas particularly useful when discussing different kinds of satisfaction people experience in activities such as video games. For the first time in history, most of us aren't fighting for survival, and the industry knows exactly what to do with that freed up mental bandwidth and resources we have at the tip of our hands. But instead of uplifting humanity, we pretty much use these same statistics to trigger all the receptors we have to keep people on track, where they are psychologically dependent on gambling systems. This isn't accidental design. Every button brightness, every dangling reward just out of reach. It's all tested and optimized. Battle passes and endless systems aren't necessarily predatory alone, but combined they become something that quietly pushes you past what you intended to spend, in both time and money. So in other words, enjoy a simple small banner of your unlocked achievement while you can never get back the time or money spent on those video games or achievements. It's worth making a distinction here. Some achievements are genuinely hard-earned, things most players will never see, or challenges that demand real growth. Sometimes it is not about how hard the achievement is, but is it appropriately hard for you at this point in time? That kind of accomplishment is precisely what Aristotle meant by Eudamonia. But the industry also floods you with achievements that feel good for exactly 3 seconds before disappearing from memory entirely. That lands closer to Epicurus, except even he would have drawn the line there, because he preached moderation, not overstimulation. Cheap achievements and bright lights are Epicurean in design, but not in spirit. Even he warned against overindulging in pleasure. But are we really doomed to repeat mistakes from the past? Can we really do nothing, as the whole system is set up to make us engage as much as possible while giving us as little as possible? Well, for that we have to go back to Aristotle and Epicurus. I don't think Epicurus could have predicted to what lengths would today's comfort of an average individual go, and how far would the shackles of slavery shift from the slave owners to the dealers of enjoyment. In his wisdom, he tried to preach at least of a sensible way of having your enjoyment while still having some framework of right and wrong. Having some idea of how to keep yourself as an individual worthy of respect, and not to completely dive in the enjoyment while losing all previous notion of who you are as an individual. Eudamonia, tied to discipline, can make us better in many ways. And even if you want to play video games continuously, always look at them through the lens of self-improvement and self-critique. The first person who was teaching me how to play fighting games had one rule: practice every move or combination 10 times on each side before you use it in a real match. Don't use what you can't execute. I didn't know it then, but Jung said essentially the same thing. Borrowed knowledge you can't apply isn't yours. It belongs to someone else. That lesson showed up everywhere after that. Improvisation is fine, but preparation is what you actually own. That started showing up everywhere. Before a job interview, I wouldn't just prepare. I'd only bring up points I had actually thought through and could defend. Not borrowed lines, not things that sounded good. If I couldn't defend a certain point in practice, I wouldn't bring it up in the interview. Whether I got the job or not almost became secondary. I knew I showed up with something real, rather than a performance I couldn't back up. Next time you sit down after a hard day, you still get to unwind. Epicurus wasn't wrong about rest and simple pleasure, even if he understood that moderation includes actually allowing yourself to rest without guilt. You don't have to turn every gaming session into a masterclass, but somewhere in the back of your mind, keep the question alive. Is this feeling something or just numbing it? The system is designed to blur that line. Keep it clear is probably the most rebellious thing you can do. There is no shame in unwinding with something purely enjoyable. But even in relaxation, there is a choice. Do you really need shiny graphics and numbers going up to feel rested? Probably not. And if the day was hard and you just need to decompress, maybe that's exactly the night to skip the slot machine and play something that doesn't hand your mood over to a random number generator. It's worth remembering that most online experiences are designed to be survived with friends around you, people who soften the edges of a bad run. So choose accordingly and choose consciously. People might say, so what if you reach the top rank? Whether that's the Challenger, Grandmaster, or whatever the pinnacle looks like in your game of choice, the title alone accomplishes nothing. But that's exactly the wrong question. The real question is what the journey did to you. Hollywood taught us to worship the moment of victory, the trophy, the cutscene, the credits. But the person who spent 2 years leading a raid team, managing egos, adapting strategies, keeping people motivated through failure, that person learned something a boardroom would pay for. The game was just a classroom. The system is designed to keep you in the passenger seat. the philosophy, the discipline, the awareness. That's how you take the wheel back. Training your own mind should always be your goal. It is as an old saying goes, how you do anything is how you do everything. Don't let the obviously faulty design shape you, but shape yourself with strong mind, sharper discipline, and better perspective. You are, after all, in a driving seat, and it should stay that way. Well, that concludes this discussion. If you would like to hear more of similar topics, like and subscribe for more, and may hard work pay off and your spirit never falter.